guys, good afternoon. Thank you for joining me. So today we are going to do this super fun tumbler, and I'm going to show you how to do a checkerboard pattern. So these are really fun, and I love the checkerboard. And then of course you can do plaid, you can do sometime before the winter's over I'll be doing an argyle one, and the buffalo plaid is really nice. We'll probably do one of those. You know, you just sort of mix your colors up a little bit different. And this one, what I decided to do was kind of do some stripes down the side. And this is really fun because, I mean, I've done them like where the stripes are down the side. I've done also, you know, this way, and then kind of changed up on the stripes, just made them a mix of these colors, all kinds of different things. So this is fun. You can do it any way you'd like. So this is really just going to give you the basic idea of how to do it. And this one, so when this one is given, it will have one more layer of epoxy on it because I will be putting a name on it in silver, and then one more layer of epoxy over that. Then I'll clean it up and it will go home. All right, listen, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please hit subscribe, and let's get started. All right, so for this one, I'm going to be using a wine glass, and it happens to already be painted green. So it's washed with soap and water. I like to use Dawn on these. I feel like Dawn helps to get out any or off any kind of, you know, greasy kind of feeling that might leave some smudges. And then after that, I clean them in denatured alcohol. So apparently I'm thirsty. Oh, and I want to show you my fall cup. This is actually one of my favorite fall cups that I've made. The glitter on it is pumpkin spice. It's Recollections. I think I did a video on this one, actually, the tacky glue method, but I love this particular cup because the color's just amazing. All right, so anyways, what I'm going to do with this one is make some little thin stripes inside my checkerboard, just 4 little stripes, and I'm going to make them a different color. Now, at the end of this video, I do apologize because I had broken my phone, had to get a new one, and some of my video got lost. And it's really sad because I actually had a couple just, you know, fun cups that I was looking forward to sharing with you guys, and unfortunately lost the video for them. So at the end of this video where I'm putting the stripes on now, it doesn't show me go in and fill them in. However, if you choose to do the stripes, you'll just go in and fill them in with whatever color you're going to, and you'll do it just like you did the other checkerboard pieces. Very easy. So this tape I got at the Dollar Tree. I did just show you. It's a pack of 3. It's 3 different sizes, so it's actually a really good deal. It's great tape. Now, I'm not using this for the fact that it's double-sided tape. I know that there are some videos out there where people actually use the double-sided tape to kind of stick glitter on for something different. I myself have never tried that. For me, the only reason why this is double-sided tape, I don't take the opposite sticky end off. It's just that this happens to be the width that I wanted to use to make the stripes. So when I'm going the long ways over the cup, I go directly over it, covering even the center, and then I'll go back in and cut off my pieces out of the middle. But I feel like it makes it a little bit easier for me to get my lines straight when I just go all the way up and over. So for this one, it's just going to be, they're just going to be 4. So I'm going to go up and over twice and cut out the center for 4 lines. And then when I get ready to do the checkerboard on this, I'm going to use electrical tape. The reason why I use electrical tape all the time, I like the way it stretches. I feel like I can stretch it to mold a little bit better. And then also because it is so nice and stretchy, it really stays on well and comes off easy, but it doesn't allow for anything to get underneath it. I don't have glitter or paint or anything bleeding underneath electrical tape, which when sometimes I do with the painter's tape or masking tape. So electrical is my preference. And so when I do put the electrical tape over this to get started, these white pieces will be right down the center of the electrical tape so that my stripes are each in the center of a checkerboard pattern. So again, you can see I'm just making the 4 stripes. All right. All right, so we're starting our electrical tape. Like I said, when you go down the sides, if you choose to put stripes, then you do want to make sure that your white tape is in the center of your black so that your stripes are not all over the place. So I'll use my electrical tape and go over the stripe parts first, and then I will add in the rest of the long pieces, the up and down part of my cup. I guess that would be the longitudinal part of my cup. And I'll add tape in to make it however, I would like as far as the distance apart. Now, when I'm doing the horizontal, I always take a piece of tape and put a little marker between each piece so that I know it's even. When I do these pieces lengthwise, I never feel like it's necessary. It seems like it's very easy to get that even, and I think it's because of just going over the cup makes it a little bit easier to kind of assess where you're at. And then I go completely over the cup and just cut out the center. And then when I cut out the center, I save those pieces from the center because that will be the pieces that I use as a marker between my stripes of tape as I'm making my checkerboard pattern. All right, so we're going to do the tape down the rest of the sides, and I am going to forward ahead, and we'll start looking at the horizontal tape placement. Okay, so now we're going to do the horizontal taping. So this one is a little bit more challenging to just eyeball. So on this one, I like to take a piece of tape to judge my placing. So I'm going to do my first line around, and make sure that you put a tab on your tape to make it easier for you to pull your tape up. All right, so once I get this first line in place, then I'm going to take a piece of my little tape, and I'm going to just put it up against that line, nice and flush. So you can see it's right there, nice and flush. So now I'm going to take my electrical tape and I'm going to go up against that nice and flush. And I know my distance for the next line going around to make my checkerboard. And I'm going to continue this one all the way around. See, this is why I really like the electrical tape. You can kind of stretch it and get it to lay a lot better. And especially for these cups, they're round and it takes that stretchy tape sometimes to be able to get it in there good. So now you can see I could take that piece of tape off and it's lined up. Now I'm going to keep repeating that process. So I do actually have a couple pieces of tape that I cut out of the center, so I don't necessarily just use one piece. And sometimes I will use a brand new piece for each one and just leave it sitting there until I'm all done, and then I pull the tape out. So again, we're going to just repeat that process. And as you'll see, we're just going to repeat that process all the way down until the entire cup is covered. And again, putting our little piece of tape there as the marker. And then going all the way around with the next. And again, make sure that you leave your little flap so that it's easy for you to pull your tape up. And you can see we're starting to make a checkerboard pattern. So we're going to continue this all the way down to the end of the cup. And the red solo cup that you see there, that is something I use a lot. This one doesn't have the top cut out of it. Usually I cut the top off of it. That way I can stick my hand in still. It gives me something to hold when I'm glittering all the way down. And the cup makes for a really good stand as well. All right, so we're going to go the rest of the way around. As you can see, we're about checkerboarded on our cup. This process is tedious, but it's really easy. And, you know, there's a lot of cute things you can do with it. You could put all kinds of different designs in these cups doing this. Just express yourself however you would like. All right, so we're going to finish up this process and move on. All right, so this is how the cup looks, all taped up. And it's just a checkerboard. So we're going to start with, we're going to take the open areas first, and that's where we'll apply our glue. And I use a paintbrush for this, because you need to be able to get in to the small little areas. Now, on this one, it's not as bad because this is your first color. But after you take off the tape and you have to get in with another color and you don't want to accidentally blend them, then you really want to use your paintbrush and put your glue on very gently. So this is a Martha Stewart green, and it's a fine glitter, and I put it on using tacky glue. So with the tacky glue, the tack it method, you take your tacky glue and you just mix a little bit of water in it. I like to do a pancake batter consistency. You don't have to get really hung up on that though, because it will dry. If you have a little more water or a little less water, it's still going to dry. Depending on which it is, it may take a little bit longer to dry, but it's still going to dry and do the job. Okay, so now, and I also put 2 layers of glue and glitter on this, just so you know. For me personally, I always do 2 layers, no matter how well the first layer covered. It's just kind of my thing. All right, so now we're going to take the tape off, and we're only going to take off the tape that's going horizontally. We don't want to take the vertical tape off yet. So after we take the horizontal tape off, then we're going to go in with our paintbrush and our glue, and we're going to gently fill in all of those open boxes with glue. And we're going to do it very gently and neatly, because we don't want to get glue on our green color that we've already glittered, because then we will start mixing our glue. And the point is to have an actual checkerboard. So now we'll go in and we'll fill in that glitter. All right, so now we're going to go in with our paintbrush, like I said, put on our glue, put on our glitter. And again, this is going to be 2 coats. And we're going to go into all of our squares that are open. So remember, this one, we took off the horizontal tape. And those are the ones we're filling in. So now when we're done with this and we take off the vertical tape, then we're going to do the same thing. However, we have to make sure that we are putting our glitter colors in a spot that they will be opposite and look like boxes or checkerboards rather than lines. Now you can see I've got the blue glitter on, so now we're pulling off our horizontal lines, but we're leaving our little white pieces there because those will come off last, and then we'll go in with our paintbrush and glue and fill in the entire line and then put our light blue in there. So on this one though, you use your paintbrush, do your glue, and make sure that your glue is not getting on any of the parts that you've already put glitter. And then just line your glitter up the rest of the way. All right, so again, just taking off the tape and filling in all the little pieces. Again, this is a tedious project, but it doesn't really take that long, and it actually is really fun. And you know, you can mix this up. You could put so many different colors in here, and you could do stripes on top. You don't have to. You could do a plaid inside a plaid. The buffalo plaid is something that I'll do another one of those cups recently and actually film it this time since I've recently started filming my cups. So you can see how I've just been going in, and I went in and filled in all of my checkered spaces. And now I'm doing the little areas up against the stripe. So what's on either side of the stripe will be filled in with glitter, the color that that box should be. And then the stripe will just go completely through the checkerboard. Right, so this is everything completed except for my stripes. Now, like I said, I did lose the rest of the video where I take off the white tape and fill in my stripes. But basically, from here, I just take off the white tape and color that entire line with a nice blue.